Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. The real issue with nice guys. The real issue with nice guys. And this is very important. A lot of guys, of course, call themselves nice guys. Sometimes they call themselves good men. And the problem they have is they feel like they're losing the women to the bad boys, the thugs, the players and stuff. And then, come on here, complain and everything. The problem is they're using methods and tactics which really don't take into account a woman's nature and how the women choose the men. See, let me talk about that choice thing, and it's deeper than just some choosing signals or something. Women, whether you approach them or whatever they do, they give choosing signals, they still make a choice. Now, there's always an argument because guys come on and say, we choose the women, we choose the women. Okay, if that's the case, why are you having a problem then? Didn't you choose some women? Seriously, you can choose all you want. And yeah, you do get a choice once she chooses, but the fact of the matter is she ain't interested. Just because you choose her don't mean she choosing you back. So where's your power? Your power don't come in until she's choosing you, and which means she's interested in you, which means she likes you, and then you decide whether or not you want to deal with her again. And this, hey, pimps and players know this. Pimps and players know this. Men who actually get into women know this. They don't chase after a woman who hasn't really chosen them or hasn't shown that they like them. But here's what the nice guy does. The nice guy calls himself trying to convince her, trying to woo her by doing nice stuff for her, showing how good a man he is and everything. Basically, he's chasing her because he had already put her on a pedestal and feel like he got to convince her. And obviously what they're doing don't work, or they wouldn't have any problems. It ain't theory or anything. If it was working, yeah, you would have whole sectors of YouTube like talking about it. And see, they'll do all this, what they consider to be nice stuff. It's like, oh, let me not only take her out to dinner and everything, let me go fix some stuff. Like the nice guy is coming from a place of trying to convince her with niceness, oh, she should get with him. And then when she just totally ignore him, or she ain't interested, or she used him, he complained. It was like, well, first of all, she didn't like you to begin with. She didn't choose you. And what I mean by choosing, that choosing signal, she ain't show any interest. See, one thing about men who are truly successful with women, they don't waste time. If that woman ain't showing any interest, they don't waste time, Even some guys who would call themselves seducers or something, they don't waste time unless that woman she got to show a little bit of interest. But see, a lot of nice guys, they try to convince the woman. And then when they chasing the woman, giving her the power, she'll put them in the friend zone. Because even when a man cold approaches a woman, she's making a choice. Now, I know some guys are here that say, oh, no, man, they don't get that power. Apparently they do. Are you getting them? I'm serious. Are you getting them? That's the thing. And see, a lot of times they chasing after women, trying to be nice and everything, but the woman ain't interested anyway. You coming off looking like a sucker to her. And some women, hey, they'll use that. They'll say, oh, he gonna spend all this money. I'm gonna let him do it. I've had some women who are generally good women, but they say if a guy going to spend $500,000 on them on a date, they'll still go and still have no interest in them. It's like, hold up. And they think just being nice, they being good and everything. But the woman has no interest. But they just doing it as a game just to try to convince the woman, oh, I'm nice and everything. And let's be real. Women don't necessarily want a bad. See, they automatically say, oh, they must want the bad boy. Oh, they don't want a good man like me. They just don't want you in particular. Because you get another man who's generally good, but he ain't going to go up there and put her on a pedestal or something. He might have a bunch of women trying to get at him. Because he ain't pressed. He just being him. He ain't gonna like spend time and energy with some woman who hasn't showed some type of interest. He's just not. He ain't gonna be a sucker about it. And yeah, people might say, oh, why you going in at the nice guys? Because first of all, a lot of nice guys really ain't nice. That's their game. That's their game. And it's like, hold up. Because I'm going to tell you what, I've been there before thinking, oh, if I do this, and the woman be like, whatever. Then as soon as I was just like, I ain't doing anything extra, couldn't get rid of the same women. Seriously. Like, hey, in fact, I've seen it otherwise. I remember when I was younger, living with my grandmother, my cousin was staying with us for a little bit, female cousin, right? And very attractive. She in her 50s now and still turn heads. And it was interesting, right? This guy was interested in it. So he came over to the house and did some work on put some spackling on the bathroom ceiling and all of this. And grandma just let him, and he did it to really impress my cousin. My cousin, first of all, she wasn't even at the house at the time. She wasn't home that day. And grandma wasn't going to stop him. She gets her free work done. But my grandmother knew it. She was like, yeah, he like my cousin. I ain't going to give you her name. You know, so like, but she ain't have no interest in him. She didn't choose him, you know? See, that thing don't work. Because if a woman is not interested, you can do whatever. You can buy her flowers. You can pay her bills. You can take her out. She ain't gonna change up. You basically in the friend zone. And she might be, and like I said, like the nicer ones actually will stop you before you do any of that. The nicer ones. Some women will just let you go. Meanwhile, they pining for that guy who don't want to do jack shit for. And he ain't bad or anything. He's just like, whatever. So then she got to go into her stuff. But, you know, that's a whole other conversation. She got to go into her seduction mode. So, you know. And I've addressed that on my Patreon. So, a few times. But the real issue is the nice guys, they're using it as a game. It doesn't work. First of all, they putting this woman on a pedestal. They doing stuff. They think they're going to change her mind. Apparently, with what's happening out here, it doesn't work like that, does it? Seriously, let's just be real. Somebody could say whatever, nah, I'm going to do it. Nah, I'm going to choose the woman. Like guys who think, well, we choose, we decide. How's that working for you? So how many of these baddies that you decided that didn't choose you? Because I don't care who you interested in, she still got to choose you one way or the other. That's what choice means. She got to choose you. She got to want to be with you. You can't make somebody like you. It'd be a better world if that was really possible. And see, that's why I would say, just be you. A person either like you or they don't. You can't convince somebody to like you. Because I've dealt with some, I'm going to be real. Personally, I've dealt with some women, they straight up didn't like me at first. I was crude, blunt, all that stuff. And I didn't give a shit. I was just like, okay. And that actually got their interest because I was just being cool. Now, I wasn't playing it cool because some guys will hear this, they'll try to play it cool, but the woman can read in your body language, you pressed, you know? She might even play you a bit. She might say a hi to you in a seductive voice just to see how you respond. And then you all of a sudden, you ready to take care of the Ruth Chris or something like that. You know, I give Ruth Chris a lot of shout outs. And they've been there since like 2009. But that's the thing. See, a lot of guys using that as a game. And it is a game for them. They ain't genuinely nice. I'm going to say the overwhelming majority of guys who call themselves nice, they're not genuinely good people. Yeah, I said it. Yes, I said it. And I'll stand by it. I'll look somebody in the eye and tell them that. Because all I do is listen to how they talk and how they behave otherwise. And watch it. I say, no, this ain't a good person. But they expect that. They think, oh, I'm being nice to the woman, or she should. Oh, like, no, a woman gonna like who she gonna like. You don't be pressed. And when I say don't be pressed, don't be like being mean to them. It's like you just live it, you know? You know, you just live your life. You know, you still treat people politely. See, being polite and doing the nice guy thing are two different things. Polite is just human, like just regular, just engage them and stuff, but you ain't going out your way. Your wallet's staying in your pocket. You even protecting your time. Like I remember there was a point, I had like some, like I said, I don't have a problem being friends with women and everything, but I told some, you know, I used to tell women, still do. I don't hang out platonically. I do not. I'll talk with you if we see each other out or I'm at wherever you work, I see you. I'll talk on the phone if I got some time. But I don't deal with that platonic thing in that manner. You know, as far as hanging out, spending time, please. There got to be at least the possibility of something romantic happening. And I told women straight up, so they knew. I said, and I told them why. I said, I don't want to be in a situation, I'm feeling something for you, but you ain't feeling it for me. I got to feel something. I got to feel there's a possibility at the minimum. Now, if something don't happen, okay, because that happens, because I might be the one be like, nah, but, you know, it got to be a possibility. But see, a lot of guys, they spend the time chasing a woman. The woman, in turn, see them as suckers. I say that in Nice Guys and Players, because the guy's doing all this, ain't getting what he really want, and she's basically bossing the situation. Because one thing, the guys who are getting the women, they deal with women on their own terms. And of course, that's why some people will call them bad boys or something like that. But it's still their terms. So anyway, though, that's a real issue, though. A lot of nice guys using that game, doing all this good stuff with a woman. And I'm gonna tell you what, and I even know this from talking with some women. There's some women can't stand nice guys because they say, yeah, they were all nice, gave them some time, you know, gave them time of day, did something with them. Then the guy switched up. So, you know, as the saying goes, game recognized game. It's just a failed game with most of them. Like a few guys are just generally good guys, but most is using that as a game. Yeah. And if I piss some people off, hey, Uncle Rom is raw. I'm that raw uncle, okay? And so, I mean, you don't have to like the shit, but I'm gonna tell you some real shit, all right? So anyway, that's all I have for right now. I'll get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.